Hey everybody, I'm taking a look at the Into the Forbidden Zone Adventure and Campaign box set for the role-playing game of the Planet of the Apes. This was, of course, part of the Kickstarter, and if you want to pick this up, you can still do it kind of like that late pledge pre-order thing. If you want to get it, I'm going to show you everything that's in it, and it's really cool to see Weston Games up there. It's got that kind of nice, kind of, I don't know, it's kind of like a textured box here to it. Cool piece of art on the front. We've got a chimpanzee, astronaut, and an orangutan. Kind of reminds me of Battle for the Planet of the Apes when they're about to go into Forbidden City. And I dig it. It's a really cool box. Here is the back of it right here. And you can see we've got this sea monster right here. Tells you everything that's in it as well. 2 double-sided fold-out terrain and cutaway maps. 2 sheets of punch-out map markers. A deluxe 3-panel lawgiver screen with useful tables. A set of 10 alpha and omega dice and 2 wild dice. A deck of 64 reference cards and 6 pre-generated character sheets. So it's very, very good, and let's take a look inside. So when you open it up, you've got this really cool insert piece of paper here to make it look like an ANSA backpack. You've got this side here with the gun, and that's the one I prefer, mainly because I like Zardoz, and it's always about the gun. And then you've got this one right here as well. Just something they didn't need to really add to it, but I thought it was a really cool addition, just to give it a little bit of flavor and to make me smile, I think is what they did. So I dig it. Next, we have the 3-panel lawgiver screen, as you can see here. Speak no evil, hear no evil, and of course, see no evil. And then as I flip it around here, you can see the 3 panels that you get, and I really dig it a lot. Not a bunch of wasted space, not art that you is not going to do anything for you. It's very helpful. It's got a lot of tables on there, and I'm very, very pleased with this screen. Next, we have 2 maps. This one is just kind of like a desert, and this is kind of like a desert beach. And on the other side of it, I'm not going to be able to show you all of them, but this has got the Venturer series Big Gemini class capsule, and that was from Return to the Planet of the Apes. I try to fold it out as much as I can. You can see kind of how it is. This is the same piece of art that's in the ANSA file source book, but you have it here in big poster format, and I think it's really, really cool piece of art. So that one is very enjoyable. And then the other one, like I said, it's got that beach scene, so you can kind of reenact the whole Taylor and Nova getting the shock of their lives, or his life, I guess you'd say. And then on the other side, it's going to be a map of the area around the Forbidden Zone and Simia right here. So very cool. Of course, you can use that for many adventures that you can have, and especially the desert one, which is kind of, obviously kind of basic, but can do a lot of heavy lifting for your games. Next, we have some character sheets, and these are going to be used for the adventure that's inside this book here. They're also blank on the other side, and they are by character class, in essence, kind of like the mutant, kind of by race. You've got the tribal human right here, and it's got their full write-up, their background, their personality, remarkable abilities and quirks, whatever motive they may have. And it's going to really help you get, just grab one of these and get playing. I love, of course, that their color, the difference in color of them based off the type of character. So very nice to have those. And they're printed on some pretty thick paper, which is helpful. Next, we have the book itself, which is very, very nice, and I'm going to show you that more in depth soon. On the back, we've got a basic Forbidden Zone encounter table and a Forbidden Zone factions encounter table. Very cool. I like how they put it on the back, and very pleased with it. Next, we have kind of the extras. I've kind of dissected this box a little bit, but you've got dice, so you've got your 10 dice and your 2 wild die. Then you've got these great hex tokens here, and I kind of color coordinated them with like mutants and gorillas and tribal humans and astronauts. And then you have all these cards, and I kind of sleeved them because that's how I kind of am. So you have a bunch of different stuff like time displays, astronaut with a cool piece of art, and then all the stats for them. You can use this if a player wants to play this type of character. They've got it all right there, very quick and easy. Or if you're a lawgiver and you're running the game, you can have their stats right there. easily accessible to you. So that's a lot of really neat stuff. And if you've got the miniatures and you've got these tokens, you are absolutely set. You can fill just tons of stuff on the maps and just go to town, go ape in essence. And so I really, really dig those. And I kind of even forgot that the tokens were in this box set. So kind of a bonus for me when I realized, and I was like, oh man, I've got these miniatures, but I've also now got these tokens. So very cool. And then that brings us to the Into the Forbidden Zone adventure and campaign book. And this thing was really, really pleasing to me when I finally got to read it. It's got a lot of stuff going for it. It has an adventure that you can use the pre-generated characters to start playing immediately. That's going to segue into a campaign, a sandbox campaign, where you're going to explore the Forbidden Zone and many other strange places. And then it's going to have a lot of tools in the back for you to be able to kind of create your own stuff, as well as your own Planet of the Apes. And I'm a big fan of it. It takes a lot of inspiration from Terra on the Planet of the Apes, and that storyline is in the Marvel Planet of the Apes magazine that came out in the 70s. And here we have kind of the beginning of it here. The Tower on the Border adventure is going to start you off, followed by the Ruins of Tomorrow campaign. And in this adventure, you're going to be everybody. You can be a human, mutant, and ape alike. I love how it shows you immediately how you can all start playing together with different types of characters that may not be always have each other's back. And so they're all going to be trying to escape out of this, in essence, a prison tower, working together, finding NPCs, different ways to go through it, to get out of there. It's not extremely linear at all. You've got a lot of choices when it comes to how you get out, how you be creative about that. There is this sizzle gun stats right here, also a scorch pistol, and that is going to be from Terra on the Planet of the Apes. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff from Terra on the Planet of the Apes, and I can't wait to show you more about that awesome comic series in a future video, because this borrows heavily a lot of stuff from it, and I was so excited to see that stuff, because it's very gonzo, very cool, and shows you how much strangeness you can add to the Planet of the Apes. So you're going to go through this whole place, checking out different things. Here's your map here. And you're going to exit out, meeting NPCs. There is a storyline here that involves a dying astronaut and a way maybe to get off the planet that you can explore. There's some seismic activity that's going on in the tower, in the town as well. So if you're in the watchtower, some things may happen to you. You're going to roll up randomly, and when you're out and about in the area map, they're going to happen as well. It could be quite deadly to you as well. Then you're going to escape and evade, evading patrols and other apes, but also looking for supplies. You can try to go get the sizzle gun, which is in the constable's room, his office, and that sizzle gun is very good. And you are going to be followed by and kind of pursued by a colonel who's going to be kind of like your Urko or your Ursus in this adventure. And then you got to decide which way you go out. In the woods, go into these caves, or maybe into the Forbidden Zone. And they're all going to kind of lead to different places. And it's all very cool, of course. And so you've got your NPC stats there with their bios. That's helpful. Your earned rewards. And then telling you more about that astronaut's quest to try to get off the planet. There's many different ways for you to kind of attack this campaign here. So here's the Ruins of Tomorrow campaign setting. You're going to have some rolls you're going to make. You're going to try to get away from this pursuit. And some things you do are going to kind of go against you, and some things are going to help you. And it's going to tell you also what's going to happen in case you get caught, and how much of his forces that he has that are searching for you. And then it's going to tell you about connecting the dots right here, the different places that you can go, because what you're going to be doing is looking for these different hand radios to help you locate what you need to get off this planet due to that dying astronauts. His crash spaceship is still there, and you're going to try to do that. It's going to tell you where all the astronauts are. There's 3 of them, and they took hand radios, so you're going to kind of find out their fates while looking for their hand radios. So it's a cool way to kind of MacGuffin around and go explore, try to get these things. Tell you about your different enemies here, working as a team, some different milestones and bonuses you can get, such as retrieving and fixing a hand radio is going to give you 2 experience per PC. Maybe if you follow the South Shore signal, it's going to be 2 experience per PC. Stuff like that. If you find the Shrine of Pluton, it's going to be 2 experience, things like that. And of course, if you save the planet, you're going to get 10 hero points per PC, because the makers, also from Terra on the Planet of the Apes, are cybernetically enhanced mutants from the past. They're going to try to blow up the world. So that's very interesting in its own way. So you have these campaign rewards there, stats for the Colonel and his goons. And then you're going to go into different locations, threats, places of interest that are all really weird and wacky in the Forbidden Zone, such as the Gleaming City, again, Terror on the Planet of the Apes. And then here's everything you need to do to try to escape to the stars, to get all that stuff going for that spaceship to get off the place. Some different stats for some of those places in the Gleaming City. Fortress Liberty, if you need to go to Lady Liberty as well, it's got that. The Sea of Sands. Some cool kind of unearthed mysteries tables for you there. And you've got the Deadeye Valley right there. There is a lot of strange things going on in that valley as well, with some seismic activity. I'm going to tell you about the makers and the Gorilloids. Again, Terror on the Planet of the Apes. It's going to be something you're going to hear a bunch because it is just so cool and fun. And then here's their stats. The Under Ocean, just a very cool name, as you can explore that and see the dreaded sea serpent right there. I love his big picture and the ecology. The White Ones, those are obviously, you've already probably seen those if you've seen the book. You've got their stats there as well. And it's going to tell you more about the Inheritors and their mutant drones, the power of the Gestalt mine right there. And it's really cool to have this here. To be honest with you, when I saw that, I was just so happy. A lot of cool creatures here, their stats, the mutant drones, the Inheritors, as well as this Hypoclaw. That thing's going to try to kill you, and the atomic subway engine. And then we've got this toolbox right here. So we've got some new Forbidden Zone archetypes if you want to play a white one or a mutant drone or an ape recon. So that's neat. And then some different environmental zones and effects, such as the mental maze of mirrors that's in the Gleaming City, and a fission cave. It's obviously something for mutants with radiation. Minefield, seismic activity right there with certain seismic strikes, and what happens if you're in a structure above ground or you're in underground. Then you've got volcanoes. You've got some new propulsion systems for spacecraft, volcanic ash, new weapons, and old world gear tables. And then you've got the unknown, beyond the horizon, what lies past the Forbidden Zone, basic biomes, subbiomes, what's out there. If you want to create some new areas in the Planet of the Apes, this is what's going to help you right here. You can roll up their major biomes there. And you can see you've got all these big tables here to create them: forest, aquatic, desert, mountain, tundra, wetlands. Really great tables. I was really pleased by these. And what's out there. So these are encounter seeds, and they show you a lot of the strange stuff that you may come across when trying to create encounters to show you just how gonzo this game can be. This is not just dealing with apes and Taylor and all that stuff. It can if you want it to be, but if you want your game to get a little bit crazier, this has got a lot of good ideas to show you just where it can go. And then you've got Seeds of Civilization, making your own Planet of the Apes. And you're going to create your different civilization, the government, the tech, the defense, military might, what its national is, its settlement, the enemies, and its prehistory. And that's how you're going to roll it up. Maybe it's got a quota system. Maybe it's got a monarchy. And you're going to roll that up. It's going to give you different governmental modifiers in order to kind of create your civilization. And I think this is just really, really neat. And I did not expect it whatsoever to be like this. So you've got your tech table there. You've got your defense table. Maybe it's the frontier, or maybe you're using ramparts. That's a pretty big section right there for defense. As you can see, it goes on for quite many pages there. And then we've got our military might table. Maybe it's just posses, where it's by unit, or maybe you've got troops. It's going to tell you kind of, what skills they may have and how many of those units they may have as well. And then your national table here. This is going to be the land of your civilization, what you have tamed and what's settled. Maybe it's a rainforest, or it's hills, or a valley. And then how those are going to change your civilization resources. As you can see, several pages of that. And then you're going to get to your enemies. So it's going to tell you about your enemies. Then you roll again for how much of a threat they are. So that's pretty neat right there. Here's another table here for settlement types. If you need to roll that up, you've got that there. And then here at the end, what's the history of your area? And maybe it is a rusty water tower. Maybe it's a missile silo. Maybe it's a buried police station. All very cool stuff. And then a great thing here, travel distances by hour, by day. What if it's rough or rugged terrain? You've got those. And then you've got fixed distance tables with these locations here. How far, like to get from Ape City to the South Shore is going to be 50 kilometers to the south. So this is really helpful as well. And that kind of sums it up. I know that's kind of a quick look at it. There's so much more to talk about with this book. It's absolutely great. And I was very, very pleased to see a lot of that Terror on the Planet of the Apes stuff that's in there. So kudos to them for adding it to it. And it was something I wasn't expecting, but really, really cool. So there it is. That's the full box set. I think it's absolutely excellent. It's got a lot of gameplay choices in there for you. I love everything that's in there. The cards are cool. The dice are neat. I love the tokens and the maps and stuff. I think it's really worth it. And I almost kind of want to get a second one just so I can get and put that big poster of that capsule up on the wall. So there it is. There is the Into the Forbidden Zone Adventure and Campaign box set. Thanks.